It's a Virgo hat trick, I guess, right?
It
Virgo, Virgo,
is.
Virgo.
It's Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. And as being a Virgo, of course, I love that energy. But really, the sun is in the sign of Virgo. On Tuesday, Mercury joins it in the sign of Virgo. And then those two things alone are enough to really focus your attention in that Virgo area. So, and I think everybody needs to know where that is. For Virgo, it's about, they've been really quiet for the last 3 or 4 weeks. They've kind of been holding their tongue. They know what they need to say. They just didn't think the time was appropriate to say it. They have the right to remain silent, and they did, which is very unusual for Virgo. And that's all over now. With Mercury going into Virgo sign, you're going to have to rip their fingernails out to get them to shut up, to stop talking. So, but it's all about the Virgo advancing the Virgo's interests, the Virgo's wants, the Virgo's needs. And this is like a gentle kind of growth where it's not overt what they're doing, but it's still going to have a very, very good result for them. Projecting their wants and needs upon the world, and the world going, okay, that's reasonable. For Libra, not so much. It's a good time for Libras just to zip their lip. It's a good time. When Mercury is behind your sun, you don't really have any wherewithal. You don't really have any kind of energy to start any kind of new thing. It's more along the lines of finishing up stuff you've already started. And just kind of holding back and doing a little bit of observing. Libras are really great at waiting to see where things are going to shake out to try and pick the winning side. And they're going to continue that over the next 3 or 4 weeks or so. So it's a good time to finish stuff up. Not a good time for Libras to start new stuff. For Scorpios, it's a good time to reach out to a group of friends or a group of colleagues and have those colleagues or that group put forth the Scorpio's interests. Rather than the Scorpio going, I want this and I want that, they're going to have their friends do that for them, do the heavy lifting for them. And they can really come close to achieving a long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective if they narrow down their focus and rather than doing everything, pick one thing and give it their undivided attention and make that successful. For Sagittarians, this energy is in their 10th house of career and public standing, and they need to be very exact and very precise in the things that they are doing. And instead of doing more, try to do completely the things you already have in motion kind of thing professionally. And they're going to want to get some kind of clarification of whatever the rules are, but some sort of, I need to know specifically what you, the boss, want from the Sagittarian. And then the Sagittarian will be able to give it to them once they have a clear understanding of exactly what that is. And then for Capricorns, this energy is in their 9th house of the law, legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance, contracts, negotiations. And it really gets down to the Capricorn making sure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed and whatever the agreement is, and that you have a really clear understanding, because any kind of contract requires a meeting of the minds. And that's what this energy of the next week or so is to do, is to really clarify exactly what that particular position is before you go ahead and agree to anything. For Aquarians, this is time for a very detailed state of the finance accounting. You want to know exactly down to the penny where your money is going, what you're spending it on, how much that you're anticipating getting, because it's also not only the earned income, but this is sort of like it's an investment kind of deal. And so my guess is when somebody approaches you with an investment, you want to go ahead and make sure that you know exactly what you're getting out of it and exactly what the details are. For Pisces, this energy is in their 7th house of partners and open enemies. And Pisces have to be really careful to see who they align their interests with. I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of new friends, and all of those new friends really have your best interests at heart. So you really want to, over the next month or so, Pisces, take a hard look at what they bring to the table. We know what they want from you, but you want to know what they're going to bring you, the Pisces, to the table. For Aries, it's about work. It's about hard work. It's about just doing your job to the very best of your ability and thoroughly. It's not a matter of getting a new job. It's simply a matter of achieving and succeeding at the current job that it is that you're doing. And the way you'll do that is by paying very close attention to detail, because that's really what this Virgo energy is all about. For Tauruses, it's their favorite time of year. It's the most wonderful time of year for Taurus. Anything that's fun, anything that's entertaining, this sort of dark night of the soul is over. Kind of thing. The last 30 days have been very difficult for them. A lot of soul searching has gone on about who they are and what they want, and that's all done now. Now really what they want to do is have fun while they're doing it.
Woohoo!
So it's anything that's entertaining, anything that's amusing, anything that has to do with children or pleasures, all comes to be for the Taurus over the next 3 or 4 weeks or so, and it's really quite a nice change from the struggle of the last month for them. So
I have a wife who's going to like that.
Yeah, I've got a friend that's going to like that too, so I'm really happy to be able to say that. For Geminis, this is in their 4th house of home. And Geminis, really, there are some pressing matters at their home where they live, part of their foundations that are a little bit rocky right now, and they really need to go ahead and shore them up. That's taken a bit of a beating over the last month or so for Geminis, and also they've been very, very busy. The pace of their life has picked up very dramatically, and they want to cut that back a little bit because really what they want to do is shore up their foundations at home, make sure that their home and foundations are secure, and then they can go out and deal with the rest of the world next month. For Cancers, this is in their third house of day-to-day living. The pace of their living picks up to warp speed, and they got to make sure not to fall behind the power curve. They have to be really careful to make sure that they know exactly what their schedule entails and to not overcommit, thinking you can do, because Cancers have a hard time saying no, and there are things they need to say no to. Otherwise, they're going to back up their time to where they have no time to do anything. And then for the last sign, for Leos, it's about the money.
Woo!
It's about making more money. It's about coming to terms with like-minded people. Some of them younger than the Leo, but the objective is to go ahead and capitalize on what it is they already have going. They spent the last 2 years putting something in motion, and now they want to make money while they're doing it. And they get that opportunity to do that. And if somebody younger offers to help them, you should say, the Leo should say, "Thank you very much, I accept your most gracious offer," because they can bring something to the table that the older Leo does not have.
Gotcha.
So all in all, I think it's pretty good music for the get back to work sign of Virgo, because that's really what we're in.
Sounds
Summer's
good to
over,
me.
playtime is over. It's time to get back to the business of working. So I don't think that's bad news. Everything's direct finally.
We'll see you next week and do it again.
Always a pleasure.